And then the fact that, you know, again, this is why I first came onto this film. One big part of it was that you were open to showing kind of the more vulnerable sides. It's built up this tension here in this part of the episode of, if you're watching this, you're like, yeah, is this, you've just seen you on stage, you've seen this early days, the excitement, the joy, and so you're thinking as an audience member, like damn it, Chris, like go for this, like you got to go for one more, you know. That's the kind of the feeling. But you also empathize with you, hearing you saying the reasons of like why you don't want to do this, of like, is this affecting my life too much? Like, is this, you know, all of the things, like I have a daughter on the way. It's helping us get into your headspace so people understand why you would actually contemplate retirement. Because it's easy for an audience to look on the outside and just be like, well, you're going for one more, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's literally like some of the reflections I've had since 2018. It was like that year after, and the 2020, even then, I was still like, if I didn't have this illness, imagine what I could do. I could probably win 10, but this is going to hold me back. Like, I felt like it was a negative. And then over time, I realized it was actually the thing that was making me like who I was, and it was attributing to my like internal success as well as my external, like even just a concept. There's this like poem or something I read forever ago about like every man needs to experience being powerless at one point in his life, to just so that like no amount of success can like change him, and you'll forever remain humble, because you know at any point you could lose it all and you could be completely powerless. And once you experience that, like it's hard not to just be grateful for what you have. And just like learning how much that shifted my mind over the years to be like, this is bonus. Like, it's not like I could do more without this. Like, no, I could have had none of this, and I'm lucky to have any of it. Just got off the phone call with Mark and Tad, the director producer for my documentary. They were updating me on everything that's going on with the first episode. They're just finally like nailing up the timeline for it. It's pretty crazy. I didn't understand how much went into this, but people are like asking me, when's the documentary come out? And they have like, I don't know, a lot of editors working around the clock, like 7 days a week, like 8-hour days, just editing through all the footage, because there was like 50 terabytes, thousands of hours of footage. I had to watch back hundreds of my old YouTube videos, find all the themes that we're talking about in a documentary from old videos and tie them all together, create a timeline over 3 episodes, which is absolutely bonkers. Just stacks of hard drives and old footage that they had to organize and sort through to like pretty much build the story of my life and have it make sense, and also have like a deep message and like purpose behind it all. So there's a lot going on in this documentary. This is not like a YouTube video. This is like real deal, like high level documentary, which is super excited for you guys to watch and get into. But they were describing to me the first episode is kind of like taking me through my younger life, going back and forth from present time to like me turning pro, me competing in my first pro show, me winning my first Olympia, and like how young and innocent I was and how I had no idea where I was going to get to, and then the pressures that started to come along with that, tying in even themes with like adaptations I had as a child of like kind of like numbing and suppressing how I feel, not wanting to be a burden to others with their emotions, and how that tied into like me as a champion of like feeling pressure and not really wanting to share how I felt and holding that all in, and kind of like pushing everything down just to get through a prep, and leading to me numbing out, which led to the theme in my one speech where I talked about if you numb the bad, you numb the good, and you don't really get to fully enjoy the experience. So there's a lot that's going into this, and I can't wait for this to be done for you guys to watch it, because it is going to be an absolute movie. It's going to be 3 movies technically, a 3-part series, and the goal is to have like an actual genuine deep message behind it, that people don't just feel like they're inspired to go lift weights, but like you see like a raw and like deep human side to myself in it. And you know, like I'm just a kid from Ottawa who found something he was good at and put a lot of time into it, and had a lot of rocky roads along the way, and somehow made it out unscathed. So hopefully it comes out at the end of this year. I'll be keeping you guys updated, maybe get some teasers and some cool stuff to come, but it's going to be a hell of a documentary, and I'm pumped for you guys to see it.
Are you nervous at all for it to come out? Like, is it like vulnerable for
people
to see like 3?
I feel like the first time I watch back some of it, I'm like, I said that? I'm like sweating and like cringing down in my chair. Especially if we have like a premiere, like event, and people are around watching. I'm in the theater, I'm probably gonna leave.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta go. I'm definitely a little, because I share a lot, vulnerably, but like this is beyond anything I've ever shared. So it'll be definitely nerve-wracking. Yeah. whenever I do abs in like a public gym, like a crunch, my back creates a perfect suction cup to the floor, and as I lean up it makes like a fart noise. And if I'm ever like a hotel gym, I can't do abs. Like I can't. Every time I go back, like, especially if you're in like a quiet hotel gym, no, there's like a couple people in there, and every time just farting. Like, all right, so goal is to run a mile. I've always joked saying I hate long distance, but I want to be able to run. So a goal of mine going forward is to be able to run a fast mile. I think I'm gonna say eventually I want to be able to run eventually I'd love to run a 6-minute mile, but like in the next year and a half, like 2027, before 2027, I want to run a 7-minute mile. Just one. I'm not trying to do a marathon, just a fast mile. And everyone's like, you have to run slower, farther to run faster, and all that bullshit that everyone says. Well, we'll figure that out as we go. But I'm just gonna try one right now. I'm gonna guess I can get one done in sub 15 minutes. I'm gonna have to break and walk. I've tried to do this in the last couple months, and I cannot run 1 mile without having to break to walk. So I'm gonna warm up a little bit, and then I'm gonna turn it off, and then I'm just gonna go. And then I'm gonna see what my speed is to run a mile. Write it down on the board, write it down on my phone, see what it takes, and then I'm gonna try and beat it over time. So 2 of my goals will be dunking a basketball, run a fast mile, and we're about to see how long it takes me to run a mile. So don't make fun of me. I haven't ran since high school, so this could be rough. I'm gonna warm up right now though. This isn't it yet.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like a way to warm up where once you get your heart rate goes up, you get better.
Yeah.
So I gotta like get there.
Shock your system.
Yeah. Whew, this is gonna be tough. I need a Garmin watch, like the cool kids. My heart rate's probably 190 right now. Are we ready? Game time. This is my future ahead of me. Next thing you know, me running an Ironman. My feet are already killing me. Outside of my foot. This is way better than I thought I'd be. Gotta speed it up. Gotta beat 10 minutes. Whew. Damn, that was way better than I thought I would do. Nine minutes and 50 seconds. It's not bad for a retired old man. Holy shit. The fact that I pulled it up to like a 9 miles per hour and I felt like I was like sprinting, and people do like marathons at 13 miles per hour is beyond me. Oh. I don't know if this is accurate, but it's in my heart rate's only 141 right now. Maybe I'm meant to be an Ironman. New career.
This is the confidence boost.
Right? I was like, this is easy. This is like, know those like Instagram reels making fun of everyone? Like you said, put the glasses on, the headbands, the short shorts, the leggings underneath, the nipple tape. Game over. That was tough. I was seriously surprised myself.
Yeah.
After I got to 4 minutes, I like told myself I was gonna slow down. So I was about to, and I was like, I can keep going a bit. 5 minutes came, I was like, I keep going 1 more minute. Great workout. Boston Marathon 2026. Just waiting for my invite in the mail. Is that like an invitational only kind of thing?
Yeah.
if they see this video, maybe I'll get a ASIC sponsorship. What's the coolest running shoes right now?
How'd the legs and everything feel?
My hip flexors were feeling it. I could feel my body like rotating, and this hip flexor was just like tight. But honestly, not that bad. My knees felt all right. It's such a small range of motion that like you can kind of just take it.
Yeah.
Whereas in bodybuilding, when your knees hurt and you're trying to do a full squat, like you're screwed. Hell yeah. Not bad. See how my hips feel tomorrow. This is gonna become the goal board. Either the WOD board or the goal board. We'll start with this. What's the date?
April 29th.
Forgot to spell for a second. It's official. I'm a runner now. The downfall of my career. Be 120 pounds by next April. I'll be 120, just fucking sprinting down the streets.
It'll be a professional high rocks athlete.
Could be.
Urs will be coming to your high rocks.
Urs will be, yeah. He'll be cheering me on. They won't let him in there. But literally this time last year, I was just committing to doing the Olympia again when I didn't know if I was going to do it. Next week is Pittsburgh Pro. I went to the Pittsburgh Pro and I told Hani, like, we're locking in for another Olympia. And it's pretty crazy now, truly not having an Olympia this year. And it's been different than I expected in a good way almost. I was told and I expected and almost like prepared myself to have like this huge gap and this void and this grief of something missing in my life. And I still have a little bit of like knowing there's something missing, but it feels more directed towards the fact that I can't fully train right now and I just miss training. But the actual Olympia itself, it's weird. I don't feel like there's something missing in me like I thought I would. And it's still so early. I'm sure as prep comes, this is still me setting myself saying, I'm sure I'll feel X. I don't know what I'll feel is the truth. But like when it comes to the time where I should be in prep and I see everyone else getting close to the Olympia, having that singular goal, when the Olympia is approaching, when I'm at the Olympia and I'm not getting on stage, you know, there may well very be a huge like gap of something I'm missing. And so far this year since the Olympia has just been such a sprint. Something in my mouth. I went from the Olympia to traveling to doing this deal with Rob where we were partnering with this German company. Bradley turning a year old. Like I have a 1-year-old baby now, which is absolutely crazy. And typically I have these 4 months at the beginning of the year to like let my body relax, try and relax and try and get healthy and heal injuries I might have, and then you lock right back into it. I've never had, in the last decade, I haven't had time to properly give my body and my mind the chance to like relax and to grow. And I'm realizing that like there's this idea of like, I saw this quote forever ago. It was like, we think that when we heal, when we do all the things that we need, when we do give our body what it needs, take the breaks that we need, then we can relax. We've earned the right to relax, but in truth, we need to relax to be able to heal. You know, so relax isn't the reward for healing, it's the condition that makes healing possible. And now that my body and my mind has been able to relax a little bit, I'm still busy, but like to take off the pressure of the Olympia being so like big and this huge thing I have to lock in for, I can like miss a few things, fall off for a little bit and just like focus on family and not worried about being at X at a certain time. Like this morning I was leaving to go work out and Courtney wanted to work out and I was gonna go to the gym later and I was like, you know what, I'll sacrifice my workout because like I'm injured anyways. You go out in the garage, train, I'll watch Bradley and then I'll show up to work late and it is what it is. And having a little bit of flexibility, just like it's starting to cause like a deeper sense of like pressure relieved off of me. It's honestly nice, and it's different than I expected. And you know, with Bradley, like I said, hitting 1 year old right now, it's like, as a father in the beginning, your role is kind of supporting your wife and the mother of your child. And then you start to build a bigger and bigger bond with your child. And now Bradley's 1, and she's like looking at me, doing something she knows is wrong, and like smiling and like nodding her head and running off and starting to get her little personality coming out. And it's so incredible to like be with her. And the other day I was watching her for like, a couple hours, and I'm like on the ground, she runs, I jump up and run after her, I'm on the ground rolling around with her. And like, I couldn't even do that stuff when I was full off-season bodybuilding. I'd be exhausted, be stuck on the floor. And now I'm trying to run a mile, trying to become more mobile, more athletic, while also staying fit and jacked. And you know, my goals are just lining up with what's truly important to my life. For so long I wanted these goals that led me to success, and that led me to being a better bodybuilder and a better competitor and a more competitive attitude, and to be able to lock in times of distress and handle pressure. And like, that helped me so much, and I've learned so much. But now it's like, how can I slow down? How can I like operate at a level of achieving success that's important to me, that fills that external reward that I still care about? But on top of that, what's most important is, how can I have the capacity to disconnect from that and connect with my family, and physically feel vibrant and healthy, and have the energy to run around and play with my child, and to have my goals shift into a way. It felt like everything just happened like so perfectly. And there's definitely been a little bit of an ego death occurrence. I just watched Aaron Rodgers' documentary, and I loved it. He was talking about his ego death and everything. And that's a concept that I like studied while I was in bodybuilding, because I knew the time would come where it would end. And you know, maybe this is a full video I could get into and talk about this for a while, but like, you know, I haven't posted on Instagram because I haven't been training, and my training was all revolved around the Olympia. And is it going to lead to less followers? Is it going to lead to people giving less fucks about who I am and following my journey? And you know, maybe it very might well. And I started to feel like I for a moment I like almost cared about it, and I caught myself, and I was like, do you really care if you lose all that, or if any of that goes away? And I mean, the honest answer was a little bit, but not really. You know, I'm not fully detached from it, to be completely honest. I still very much get validation from other people's opinions, and I'm not that enlightened yet, but I can feel the detachment from it, and the awareness of how much stronger it used to be, and just feeling like this separation from this old self that I used to have, that cared way more about that. And that's like the concept of this ego death. It's like, your ego's intention is to not be surprised, to be in control, to be right. You know, you'd rather be right than be happy. That's your ego. But now I'm like, that old sense of self that was so comfortable and understood that like success in bodybuilding and your body and your strength leads to this, and external validation and success and all this. But like, you can separate yourself from that completely, and just like, if you lost all that and still had, you know, my health and my family and Courtney and Bradley and all that, like, I really wouldn't care. And it's so incredible where I had both before, and now I have this understanding, if I lose one, I still have the other, and completely fine. So it's this interesting like separation of a past self. And you know, nothing changes if nothing changes. I mean, I'm kind of rambling like crazy right now, but that concept, like, truly, I was in Groundhog's Day year after year, like this hero's journey of like win the Olympia, and then like have this like lull. Do I still want it? Usually an injury that brings me down even lower, and then this like need of a surgence back from that to rise back top, and then win another Olympia, and the repeat. And it was such a cyclical pattern that I was in, that I was kind of tapped out on like my growth of my identity. I was stuck in this box of what my identity could grow and become. And now that the box is cracked open and I'm free to become and do whatever I want, it's scary, it's liberating, it's different, but like, the only way to grow is to change. And you know, there's only so much you can grow into doing the same thing every year, being Mr. Olympia year after year. But you know, the change was scary, but I'm very grateful to finish this off, that I made that decision. You know, I really sat with myself for years to really evaluate what my values were, and I was sticking to them, but they were changing. They were ever changing. Now that they've changed to a point where what I love so much, still loved it, but it was time to move on to something else, you know. And change isn't always like, oh my God, I hate bodybuilding now, and I have to have this distaste for bodybuilding and what it did to my life. I don't believe in that at all. I still love bodybuilding, and I'm still sad that I don't get to do it. But unless I leave that behind, I can't grow into something else I love even more. So I think me being able to mature was understanding that I'm not going to have a point where I hate bodybuilding and I'll walk away. I'm going to have to know when the time's to walk away from something I love to create space for something I love even more. I even said that in my Olympia speech, impromptu, of like, you gotta open your heart sometimes for more energy to come in. And I've been doing just that. And, you know, life's still been busy, been moving around, but it's been changing and I've been changing. I can feel myself changing and evolving as a human, as a husband and a father. And I'm so grateful, you know, for all the opportunity that I have to do so. So it's been good. And I wanna continue to bring you guys along the journey and the change of my fitness goals, you know, trying to run a little bit. Don't worry, I'm not trying to get skinny as fuck. I just want to run a little bit and be more athletic. Still want to be jacked and shredded, but also like being a more calm and patient and present father, you know, like I'm not trying to get a meal in or rush out or stressing about my workout. I have less things on my plate. I'm going to show up better to my family. You know, if I'm running out the door, we're late for something, be like, whatever, who the fuck cares? You know, if I didn't eat, sometimes I won't eat till 1 p.m. I'm like, whatever. I've been with my family. My priority is to go out and do with them and prioritize with them, because Courtney took the sacrifice for many years where like bodybuilding had to come first or I wouldn't have won Olympias. So lots of change. And, you know, I want to bring you guys along the journey of what's important to me and how I'm handling it also. I'm going to be trying showing you the fitness route, the work business route. We got a lot of cool changes on that. And I'm super passionate about like the creative marketing side of Raw and the brand identity and the vision and, you know, the message that we want people to feel when they see our brand. So how we're going to be changing that to show so much more of that this year is something that I'm heavily stepping into and getting involved with, because I don't really care about the back end of the business of everything. And just like my philosophies on life are changing, and I want to share some of those too. So maybe have some solo podcasts where I like voice over a fucking workout talking about some deep shit like that last video I did. Some of you guys liked it, so maybe some more of that will to come. All this to say, life's been changing. It's been full of ups and downs recently. I'm at a good point right now where I'm grateful for all that's happened. You know, I still have a part of me that knows I miss it, and I'll miss it more as time to come. And we'll see how I feel at the Olympia this year, watching people on stage knowing I could be winning another Olympia. Because I do believe in my heart I could have gotten another one. But knowing that my health is progressing and I feel better in my body, and, you know, I'm adding years back onto my life and not taking years from my life when I have a family that I need to take care of, there's no greater peace than that in my heart. So that's my biggest value and most important thing to me. So I appreciate you guys as always joining in on the journey. If you guys have made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. It's gonna be a good year. So keep you guys in tune, and I'll catch you guys next time.
That's when we bring in Melissa and Ian and we start talking about your actually early childhood, and we're really trying to get those early videos from your dad. He's been promising Tad that there's some like old VHS that he thinks he has.
Oh, he says he's lost them.
Yeah, he literally, they came up last time and my mom was in tears. She's like, we've been donating all the bins because they were like hoarding shit. No, actually, it's like bins and bins of shit. Yeah. And they donated half of them, and they donated a bunch of the wrong ones of keepsakes, and they're pretty sure the VHS tapes were in one of them.
Yeah, so there's someone else right now making the C-Bum doc with one of those VHS tapes.
That's fine, we gotta.
Gosh, for real, hey? I wonder.
The theme of
we gotta go to the thrift. Do we gotta go to that thrift? When did they donate them?
They said it was like 6 months prior, like.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah.